On our next feature for today, we're going to show you how a small stable operates against the big guys here at Fraser Downs. We're talking about Janet and Paul Harrison's off-track stables, and how they do it, you're going to find quite amusing, especially when you realize they once had the big horse.
I'm not really a long-term horse person. Janet was the horse person when we met. We eventually got to living here actually with two horses we had. They were just pleasure horses. I got involved with the race horses with my brother. He's been involved, and then it just sort of grew from there. We ended up with the opportunity of having one of the race horses at home, and then it's just sort of grown from there.
Paul, you and your family are one of the few training stables that operate the way you do. Why aren't you in on the racetrack training your horses?
Well, we've just preferred to be at home. We've had the opportunity to have the horses at home, and it's just a matter of convenience for us.
Great setup. Like we're looking in the stable right now. Your horses can go in and out. I haven't seen too many barns that operate this way. What made you do that with the door in each stall?
Well, the barn originally had a couple of stalls that had that feature in it, and then as we've done renovations and additions to the barn, we've just incorporated that further to as many stalls as we possibly can. We've just felt that it's just good for the horses to come and go as they please. Most of them are smart enough to get in and out of the rain and be out in the sunshine when they enjoy it.
And speaking of horses, obviously, you have a couple of our favorites out here, but one of is Harris Coca-Cola. He's got a great story behind him. Can you explain it? Because when we look at him right now on the track, he's got something that's missing.
Yeah, well, Cola, it was about a year ago, actually over a year ago, he developed an injury in his eye, and eventually lost it. He lost sight of it, and then so we had totally removed the eye. At that point, then we had retired him, and just figured that he would just have a life on the farm because he's been so good to us over the years racing. But then, well, over the last few weeks, we've just noticed him sort of standing there, and we've had such nice weather this spring that we've thought, well, we'll just hook him up and see if how he goes. And actually, to our surprise, he's just been going along really well. He's just having a good time out there and just enjoying life now.
When he did get the eye injury, how did it affect him?
Well, we never really raced him any time after the injury. It was quite a traumatic injury. Like the whole ordeal involved within the eye was quite traumatic. So we never really raced him beyond that. We retired him.
How good a horse was he?
Oh, he was an excellent horse for us, with bonuses and purse winnings of probably well over $400,000 for us.
Racing, how's it work? When do you leave? When do you get in?
Well, it's a requirement to be on the grounds 4 hours before their post time. So for us, or 3 hours I should say. So for us, it's we leave 4 hours before race time. So we have a couple of stalls that we maintain at the track that we will ship the horses down to, and they'll stable in there until the race time. And so they get about an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours of standing in the stalls there before they go out for warm up and then go to the paddock in preparation for racing.
You ever get the bug to get back in the bike during the races? I know you have driven before.
Yeah, I do a bit of driving from time to time. I just enough to sort of keep my sort of fingers into it, just wherever it seems to fit. Often we'll put a more experienced driver up, and I'll usually take second place, and if they're not taking it, then I'll take it. Or they're younger horses, just in order to see how they are within the race, whether or not the equipment we have on them is suitable for the race, and how they're behaving.
It's a family type outfit, obviously. How important are Sarah and Janet the way you operate?
Oh, very important. An integral part of the whole operation here. If it wasn't for Janet and Sarah being involved, I wouldn't be doing it. Yeah.
Can you tell us about the horse you're jogging right now?
Yeah, this horse, he's a 4-year-old gelding. We got him in the fall of last year out of a sale in Toronto through one of the Standardbred Canada sales there. He was a 3-year-old, had won a race, and and was offered to the sales. So we've enjoyed going to the sales and looking for prospects back there. At that particular sale, we bought 2 and thought that they would have an opportunity to fit into the races here. So far he's been pretty competitive for us. Hasn't won a race yet, but he's been knocking on the door a few times.
Bearing Promises the inside. Major Indiscretion is coming on, and Bearing Promises, Major Indiscretion will win it. Bearing Promises was second, and it looks like R.S. Merlin faded to third. Jimmy Birkin at 5-2, Major Indiscretion, 156 flat.
No, actually, for the time being, racing is going well for us. We're enjoying it at the size that we're participating in. I don't see us actually having going for a lot more growth than what we have. We used to do some of our own breeding, and we no longer do that. We've sort of gone more for purchasing horses that are either already racing or just recently we've purchased a horse then from the yearling sale, which we're hoping to develop into being our next claim to fame. And things are all looking good there. So with a young horse like that, I'd say we're in it still for a few more years.
Janet, with other families go away from each other to do different jobs. You two don't. Sometimes too much time together?
Not really. We've always got along well. We kind of got together as teenagers, and we've been together ever since. And I don't think he gets sick of my company, and I don't get sick of his. So we take the odd day off away from each other. But other than that, we work together, we live together, do everything together. So it seems to work out fine.
Was horse racing always a part of your life?
No, I was into more show horses in my younger years or whatever, and pretty well showed until, well, right up until we met, and even past when we met and everything, and then eventually kind of went over to the race horses and actually got out of the show horses for quite a while. But then now the daughter's back into it again, so now we're kind of back into that as well. So,
is it nice seeing Sarah involved?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love, you know, I brought her so far along as far as I could bring her along, and then now she's with a different coach, and she's really making big progress. She's into the jumping horses and, you know, jumping well, and I just love watching her. I could watch her all day long ride horses.